Hi everyone, Dr. Ram here. I am on my evening stroll with baby Vera and my dog Bruno. Today I want to share with you something that I found out that all parents do. It's something called parenting math. So what that is, my wife and I, the way we split our responsibilities is in the early morning hours. I've always been a morning person, so early morning hours, I will take the bottle feeds in the early morning, starting at like 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. I'll take all of those feeds. So what's interesting that's happened recently is the fact that I've gone back to work, as I've mentioned in my previous video, is those morning feeds sometimes bump right up against my time that I need to leave for work. So that's created an interesting dilemma for me. So in an ideal scenario, I go to Vera's nursery and she's very calm, and I pick her up out of her bassinet and she starts feeding and drinks her bottle very quickly, and then I sit her up to burp her and she burps right away, and then I put her back down in her bassinet to go right to sleep. And of course that never happens, right? So this, in the morning times, what it usually ends up looking like is she starts crying, she gets fussy, so I have to calm her down. But what's funny is that in the last few days, my third day of work, I have to keep an eye on the clock because I have to leave to go to work at a certain time or else I'm going to be late. So I started doing this parenting math, looking at the clock. So it's really funny because I start feeding her and she takes a few sips and then starts getting fussy. And then I'm like looking at my clock and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have 5 minutes left. And then I calm her down and feed her some more. And I'm like, oh my gosh, if I don't leave in 10 minutes, I'm gonna get late, and whatever it is, right? So you're constantly doing the math. Okay, if she finishes the rest of this bottle in 5 minutes, that'll give me 3 minutes to burp her, and then I can put her down, and then I won't be late for work, right? So I was stressing out about this, going back and forth and just getting really stressed about this whole thing. Like, oh my gosh, it's my third day of work. I don't wanna show up late. And you know what? Then I had a realization. That the fact that my first and foremost primary responsibility is towards my wife and my daughter. Family always comes first. And I was like, you know what? Then I just completely relaxed and I'm like, you know what? Work can wait 10, 15 minutes. It's not that big of a deal. I relaxed, I enjoyed the rest of the feeding with my daughter, and of course she sped up her feeding and she relaxed herself, and I was able to finish the feeding very efficiently and put her back to sleep in a timely manner. I was sharing this anecdote with one of my coworkers who's a grandmother, and she said, oh, babies can totally pick up on your anxiety, your tension. They can feel it in the way you're, they can sense your emotions, and then they get tense, and the babies don't feed as well. So relaxing is one of the best things you can do to help relax your baby as well. And she totally agreed with me, like, you know, it's okay if you showed up 10, 15 minutes late. She has kids herself and she has grandkids herself, and she realized, you know what, that's, I get it. It's not that big of a deal. So they were completely understanding, and she agreed that family does come first. So yeah, so that's the parenting math. And the other thing actually she shared with me was the fact that parenting math never ends. When her kids were in her teenage years and started driving, she would do the math of like, okay, well, she went to school and school's 10 minutes away. She would have left at 4 o'clock, meaning she should be home by 4:15. And if she's not home by 4:20, then I should start getting worried. And the parenting math apparently never ends. So if you have a parenting math story where you're constantly looking at the clock, be sure to comment and share that story in the comments below. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my channel. All right, guys, thank you for visiting the Dad Zone. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.